So that's a fail. Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Stacey's Bookcase, where I like to talk about books. Today, I'm going to be getting rid of some books. So, let's get right into it. So the first books that I'm planning on saying goodbye to are these by Kate Forsyth. There's The Witches of Ilion and The Cursed Tower, or Towers. This is book 1 in the series. This is book 2. I read book 1 a while ago. I think this is actually book 3. This is actually book 3. I read book 1 years ago. Picked up book 2 because I found it for only, or book 3 because I found it for only $1, but I didn't find book 2. So I didn't continue the series right away. I just held on to them forever. And I could get book 2 and then reread the series. I'd have to start the first book over again because I don't remember half of what happens in it. But I read another series by this author. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It featured a character named Rhiannon, and I remember really liking that character. I really enjoyed the first book. But then I did not like how the series ended. Not just the ending, I didn't like the whole last book. The character that I really enjoyed, that seemed like the main character of the series, I'm pretty sure her name is featured in the title, plays such a minor role in everything, and that is a sequel series to this that features the next generation. So this is the previous generation, and that series features the next generation. So when you get into I think it was a trilogy, so I think when you get into second and third books, you're starting to see more characters from the original series, or that are related to characters from the original series. So I guess if you started with this series, that you would really appreciate that. I didn't, so I didn't really care about those characters. All I cared about was the one that I really liked from the beginning, and she played a very minor role. I didn't like what they did with her character, and it made me mad. So I guess that has made me reluctant to read this series, because I guess I don't trust that the same thing won't happen again, that I'll get invested and then be upset by the turn of events. I don't know if that would happen in this, obviously featuring different characters, but yeah. I have to restart it and reread the first book, but I think, yeah, I'm going to be getting rid of them. Even as I look at them, I'm debating whether or not to keep them, but no, I'm getting rid of them. I'm saying goodbye. I'm not reading them. Yes, those are going. And then I have this complete novels and series of Sherlock Holmes, Volume 1. It's a really banged up copy. As much as I would like to read this, I've read some of it. As much as I would like to read more Sherlock Holmes, I don't think I'm gonna read this, just because it's so battered and it's just not a convenient read. Even as I say that, I want to keep it and read it. This is not actually going well. Anyway, I'm also getting rid of Running with Scissors by Augustin Burroughs. I read this last month. It was interesting. I feel mixed about it, and I don't think I'm going to read it again, so I'm just going to give it up. Then there's The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu. I bought this at a discount store because it sounded really cool about these librarians. It's based on a true story, but I read a couple reviews and they said that the book focused more on the conflict going on in Timbuktu rather than the librarians and what they were doing. I'm kind of interested in that, but it's not the reason why I picked up the book, and I'm kind of like disappointed by that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this up, even though it's pretty small, so I could read it. Then there's A Demon Tetralogy by Tim O'Leary. This is an indie book, self-published book that I picked up at a fair, and I started it, and it's an interesting way of telling a story. It's like in little blocks, and I just don't know how I feel about the way the story is told. But I also didn't give it that much. I only gave it, oh, the pages aren't even numbered, so I don't know. I gave it like 10 pages. I might give it more. I might give it another try. I don't know. I'm thinking not. Then I have these collections of short stories. Swords and Steam and Murder Mayhem. It's just a random collection of short stories about these various topics. I've read a little over a third of this one. I've barely dented this one at all. And I'm just not interested in picking them up. Like, part of me wants to keep them in case I'm like, I feel like reading a short story about murder. But I keep thinking, well, I might want to do that, but then I never do. So do I continue keeping them on the possibility that I'll want to pick them up at some point, someday? Probably not. The last thing is something I'm debating getting rid of. I haven't decided completely yet. And that's Dreadnought by Cherry Price. I recently read Bone Shaker, or I haven't finished it. I have like 100 pages left and I still haven't finished it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it because I don't know if I want to. This is the sequel. It doesn't deal with the same characters, although from what I understand, things kind of come together at the end. I'm curious. I like kind of want to read it just to see if the different setting would pique my interest and make me want to read it more, but it wasn't necessarily the setting that made me not want to continue reading Bone Shaker. It was like the characters. So I don't know. I feel like if I read this, I'd be taking a risk, but I don't know if I want to just give it up.
I feel a lot of indecision.
This book on haul is kind of just highlighting my indecisiveness rather than me being like, yes, I'm getting rid of all these books. So that's a fail. Yeah, so I'm getting rid of the majority of these books after I think about it a little bit more, I guess. Thank you for watching this video. It was kind of a mess. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.